Okay, so this is my ProofHQ platform. And we can see here that when I log in, I see my dashboard. And my dashboard is different to Jones, it would be different to Rick's, it would be different to David's. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually upload a new proof straight away because I'm going to take on the role of the designer. And I'm actually going to select the files that I want to upload. So in this instance, I'm going to upload a video because we've talked about websites a little bit, so I'm just going to upload a video. I can give it a proofing name, and then I'm going to select the workflow I want to use. And again, in this instance, I've got my video approval workflow, which is a two-stage approval. My deadlines have already been set up, and we have the users and roles and email alerts that have been shared with the approval workflow already. I can give this a job number, and I can create this file. So while this goes off and creates, I see that there is a couple of questions. So the first one is, compared to other solutions out there, why is ProofHQ better? Very good question. ProofHQ, with the research we've done, we believe is the only platform out there that is allowing you to not only review and approve print files, i.e., PDFs, Photoshop files, Illustrator, etc., but also allows you to create the HTML stuff all within one platform. So that's videos, that's interactive websites, that's HTML5 banners, and so on. We believe we're the only platform out there currently that allows you to have all of this functionality and all of these file format support in one platform. So Robert, I can see here, I do have a question around saving comments. As you work through the large document, reviews cannot always complete the review. Setting is 0 saving comments as you work through. So Robert, yeah, as soon as you have made your comment and click the save button, you don't actually have to finish your review and approval process at that point. So you can actually just close down the window and then come back to it in a couple of hours or the next day, and then just continue working on it as you were before. All of the comments that you previously done would obviously be saved on the system. So hopefully that answers your question. Another one here, training. How many people can be on the system at one time? How many is too many? Can you talk to each other while using the system, or do you need to go to a meeting or conference call? Paul, good question. You can have an unlimited number of guest reviewers reviewing and approving a file at the same time. It doesn't matter. I think our maximum has been about 25, 30 on a reviewing of one stage. But again, you can have multiple stages as well. So you might want to break that down into design approval is only 5 people, and then marketing approval is only 2 people, and so on and so on. And yes, I briefly showed in the presentation that you can have conversations with people via replying to comments. So it's not it's not an instant chat like a Skype or anything like that where you're just typing instant messages, but you can reply to comments and and have a conversation that way with what you're doing. So guys, hopefully that answers your questions. So what we can see here, we've now got this video file here, and it's at the design approval stage. And these are our kind of project management icons, and these will be your kind of lifesaver throughout the system when you're project managing. And you can see that the file's been sent to people, if they've opened it, if they've made comments, and if they've made a decision. Okay. So if I just click on this file now and open it up, I'm not going to go through this whole process again, but I just wanted to show you something live. With video files, we have a timeline down the bottom here. And as we can see straight away, instantly, my colleague Callum, who's part of the marketing team, has actually made a comment on the system already. So I can just click on that comment straight away. So Paul, hopefully this might answer your question. Callum's asked, can we change this to a book? So me as the moderator of this file, I can actually reply to that comment and say, yes, of course we can. Rick will amend this. And then I can save that. And then that starts making your conversation like that. Okay. Now with video files, how do you get video files approved now if you're doing video? Do you have to print out each keyframe, or do you, there's not really many ways of approving video files, using the traditional methods. So with ProofHQ, you can actually play the video with sound and take it through its cycle. And you can pause it at any moment, and you can obviously make comments on where you want the comments to appear. So I can say change this to 2 and save that. And then once I save that and it appears in my comment list, I can then carry on through the process, and I can then say, okay, wow, that's another comment that we need to make, and I can use one of the other tools, which might just be a freehand tool, maybe a bad example, and say, please change this language to be attached. And then we can then attach our Word document, which might have the new language version associated to that. And then I can also see that there's a comment here that I want to make, which is, we want to actually change the colour of this scarf to yellow to match her dress. So again, we can use another tool here, and we can say change this to yellow. Okay. So you can see how we can start making comments on video files, and the comments don't have to just be a single line item there. They can actually, you can drag that comment to last for a number of seconds within that video file as well. So, we've made our comments that far, and I can now click my finish review and hit changes required. Now, if I close that down, and if I just go back to my project management side, you'll notice that this has updated itself. So we can see that I've opened the file, I've commented on it, I've made a decision of changes required, and Callum has logged in, he's opened the file, made a comment as well, which is the question that he asked. So again, I'm not going to go through the whole approval process, but I want to show you the comparisons within the video files as well. So let's assume that it's gone through that, and we're now making our version 2. And as you saw, we can just click our new revisions tab, and we can then select our version 2, one I made earlier. And we're going to obviously use the same workflow as we did before, because we want it to run through the same approval cycle, and we can then create that again. So again, while that's just creating and processing, I think there's a question. Last question, what training do you give people who use the system, and what's the cost of system training? So with training, Paul, we give when people purchase the platform, we do something called the Start Success Program. And the Start Success Program is pretty much a 2 or 3 hour admin training session, and then a 1 to 2 hour user training session, pretty much all within the same day, either over WebEx, or if the client does want us to come in, then we can come in as well. That'll be with one of our technical guys within LGS. And I'll be honest with you, once that's been completed, we get very, very little how-to questions or support queries coming into our help desk. Hopefully you can see that the platform is actually fairly simple to use. It's pretty much tick boxes, drop downs and things. And from an admin standpoint, if you're just a general user, you wouldn't be getting too bogged down with the whole configuration of the system. In terms of costs, I'll talk to you about that offline, and with everyone, if cost is something you want to look at, or if you wanted to look at trialing the solution yourself, please get in touch or offline, and we can certainly sort out for you. I'll be sending a follow-up email to everyone after this also. So just want to show you the version 2 and the comparison function that we went through in the example presentation. And as we said here, we can go through and just watch our version 2, and we can see whether all the changes have been made. We can actually click on our version 1 here and go in between, but we just want to click our revisions here. And as you saw in the presentation, what this is doing is it's actually bringing up our version 2 and our version 1 side by side. If I zoom out a little bit, it will zoom out on both, and it will take us to the first comment that we've made on that file, and then we can then thumb through the comments, and we can see whether the changes have been made, right? And it's taking us to both keyframes on both versions, so that we know exactly that the file has actually been updated. And if we wanted to play them both side by side, of course we can do that as well. Okay. So that was really just to give you a very quick overview that, you know, what I showed you in the PowerPoint presentation weren't just screenshots. You know, the system is live and working as we described it. And the last thing I'm just going to show you very quickly was the websites, because the websites I feel is you know, fairly important to most businesses nowadays. It's where a lot of people are trying to generate their own revenue and so on. So just going to show you a website very quickly and how you know, using the ProofHQ platform, you know, you're actually annotating on the live website. So we're on the Workfront live website here, and automatically you can see that the HTML animation is actually being pulled straight in. You know, there's no issue with that whatsoever. You can actually even, you know, hit the drop downs on the website and go to different pages on the website, as we saw with the satchel and going onto the page 2. And at any point, you know, if there was a video embedded, we can even play the video embedded into the website. And at any point, if we wanted to make any comments, you know, very simple to do, as we've seen before. And save that. You know, and as I've said, you know, with rich media, it's harder to approve this sort of stuff because you know, it's not a still image. It's moving. It's a moving target, like video is a moving target. HTML5 banners, websites. So hopefully you guys have seen today the benefit that ProofHQ can bring, not only to the still file formats and the workflow process, but also how you can invest in this solution and take that to your wider audience and the multi-channel marketing that you guys are probably now doing in the video, website and HTML5 banner space.